What is happening, AJ Game Dude here, and I'm going to be talking about, or rather looking at, the next Nintendo Direct. So, I've got this article up by VGC, from VGC by Andy Robinson, and there have been rumors swirling around that there was going to be a Nintendo Direct, and usually around like the middle of February kind of thing. Turns out it kind of is a little bit later than the middle of February, but close enough. 21st of Feb at 6 a.m. PT and 9 a.m. ET. So for me, that's going to be on the 22nd at 3 in the morning, which is going to be real fun to see. So this Nintendo Direct is going to be tomorrow, and it's going to be a partner showcase, and that usually means that there's going to be third-party games in this Direct. Now, what makes this Direct extra special, on the other hand, is that last week Microsoft did, in fact, say that they would be taking 4 games and releasing them on rival platforms. And those 4 games, I guessed, or I was trying to guess, would be Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, and then, so those were the 2 smaller games, and then the 2 community-driven or focused games were going to be Sea of Thieves and possibly Grounded, which all seem to make sense to some extent or degree, I guess, because as far as like multiplayer focused games, Xbox is full of them, but what are they willing to lose in order to gain an audience, I guess, on other platforms? So it'll be interesting to see what comes from this partner showcase and whether or not there's anything actually Xbox related. I do imagine we will see a lot of Square Enix games. Not a lot of, but a couple of Square Enix games for sure. Are we going to see any... and normally these showcases also tend to have older games that are being ported over rather than new games that are being specifically announced. But usually when that does happen, it generally tends to be things like RPGs, farming sims, and games of that caliber usually. But then again, like, the Nintendo Direct is what it is. Though it is worth noting that earlier on in the week, or rather last week I should say, when Nintendo announced that they were going to be... Well, Nintendo didn't announce it, but when rumors started swirling around it was going to be 2025 that it would release, stocks did actually drop for Nintendo by a decent amount. So that's kind of like a bit of an unfortunate thing that's happened right there. But still kind of prudent to be like, okay, it's a partner showcase. We know we're going to expect some amount of Square Enix, possibly Xbox games sort of coming to the Switch, but also is there any likelihood of us seeing, say, from other publishers like Bandai Namco? It's actually unusual, because I don't think EA or Ubisoft are going to be there, but there is a slight chance that they might try to like have lesser versions of sports games and things like that EA does, and so does Ubisoft. I don't actually think there's a lot of Ubisoft games on Switch now that I think about it. Maybe there are, and I just have, because I haven't booted up my Switch in quite some time. So I can't imagine there being a lot to show at this showcase, but it's going to be about 20-25 minutes, something along those lines. So, of course, with Directs, it's just going to be game after game after game after game. So it'll be interesting to see what we see here and what's going to happen. Though, again, the Xbox stuff is kind of what makes this a lot more interesting. And, besides it just being third party, there really isn't much more to say. I will be sitting down and watching it myself. Hopefully we'll get some good announcements from it, and whether or not this will actually be the first step to Xbox becoming somewhat multi-platform to an extent. Of course, they're not going to go fully multi-platform, at least not yet. Who knows when it will happen, but if the console numbers are ever anything to go by, Microsoft are certainly getting, well, not Microsoft, Xbox is certainly getting their teeth kicked in by the competition, almost more than a 2-to-1 basis at the moment. So sad times, I guess, in that sense, but we'll have to see how things go. With all of that said and done, I like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel, aiming for 200 subs by the end of the year. And I upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.